What's up, guys? Paulie Malinaji for Paulie TV. Well, we got some news today. Some news none of us expected. Sometimes we expect the news, fight announcements or, pleasant news, all this stuff. Bo McIntyre arrested in Manchester for getting caught with a loaded firearm in his, I guess it was his checked luggage. They took him from his gate and they put him under arrest in the UK. Now, this is kind of a serious allegation. This is a serious issue. You know what? Okay, I'm going to give you my thoughts, guys. Everybody's got thoughts. Everybody's got a lot of speculation here. From knowing Bomac, he's not that kind of guy. I've been around Bomac several times. He's kind of a happy-go-lucky guy. He likes to help kids in the community, boxing. He's very big on his boxing. As a matter of fact, where I work at Pro Box TV in Plant City, Florida, Bomac has driven all the way from Nebraska to Florida and back on several occasions, bringing some of his prospects over to train with some of the fighters on the property and just use it as a training camp and whatnot. Driven from Nebraska to Florida and then back to Nebraska with these guys several times in a minivan now, So, this is just his dedication to just the community and the sport and all this other stuff. Like I said, that doesn't mean anything in the grand scheme of things. You could still end up, doing bad things. But I'm telling you, the gist I've always gotten from Bomac, he's kind of a happy-go-lucky guy. He's a guy who kind of, remember, Bomac was just an average fighter who, was a butterbean opponent in his day. So he's kind of just worked his way up the ladder just like a lot of people do, and he's worked his way to a position where he's probably the favorite for the trainer of the year right now after the Chris Eubank big victory this past weekend. So, and he's not like a hood guy. He's not like, I'm telling you, this guy is kind of a happy-go-lucky nice guy, man, and it's like, don't get me wrong, it doesn't mean you couldn't get caught up in some stupid stuff. But I'm just going to go by what I've been hearing, okay? I heard, from what I hear, this is all rumors, again. Rumors, Bomac is licensed. He's licensed to carry a firearm in the U.S. I'm assuming he's licensed to carry in Nebraska, where he lives. So could this just be a case of ignorance where he might think that his license to carry in the U.S. carried over into Manchester, of course, into England. Of course, this also brings up another question. If, in fact, he brought the gun from the U.S., how did the gun pass through U.S. security? That means our TSA guys are sleeping if a gun passed through that security into England. The other question is, if it's the more sinister problem could be if he got the gun in England. Now he's going to have a problem because the authorities are going to demand who he got the gun from before he boarded that plane, if he didn't get it to England. But just on speculation alone, I'm thinking, based on what I'm hearing, if he's licensed, he may have brought that gun from the U.S., man. And honestly, not out of anything bad, not out of badness, because he wasn't going there to shoot anybody. Not out of badness at all. He might have just on his ignorance, and it's thinking he's just going to protect himself in a foreign country. I'm telling you, people get paranoid sometimes when they travel and stuff, and remember one thing, bro. I remember Robert Guerrero. If you guys remember far enough, Robert Guerrero got arrested in New York during the Mayweather fight, his Mayweather fight, the press tour, where he flew from California to New York with a licensed firearm from California that the license didn't carry over to New York, and he landed in New York and he was arrested on the spot. It seems like this time around, they didn't let Bomac fly, unlike the Robert Guerrero situation where he actually got to fly to New York before he was arrested. Bomac, they found the gun there, so he was not able to fly. He was taken from his gate and placed under arrest, and he's remanded. He's actually got to stay in jail until October 9th, which is his court date, which really sucks, dude, because I'm telling you, he's probably training guys. He's got his community gym. This is not a guy who just trains fighters that are worth millions of dollars like Eubank and Crawford. He also trains, I'm telling you, I've seen it myself. He trains like kids. He trains like early level pros and stuff, prospects, amateurs. He really just loves his job, man, So this also, it doesn't just suck for him, it sucks for, his community as well, because he's a big help in the community, man, and he's kind of just like one of the guys. He just kind of hit it big, he really has that one of the guys feel. If you talk to Bomac, I'm telling you, he has that one of the guys feel. Like, it doesn't matter that he's risen to this level as a trainer and people are looking at him like a trainer of the year contender and all this stuff. He really is. I've met a lot of people on different levels, bro. There's different, people give you different vibes. Bomac, you meet him, you talk to him, he's literally like one of the guys, man. I'm telling you, I would tell you if this guy was like, if I got inklings that this guy thinks he's more of a tough guy or thinks he's a bit hood or what, I never got that feeling from Bomac, bro. And I speak my mind. So I'll tell you this. I guess I have questions myself, right? Is it one of those things now where he's remanded until October 9th, which again, that sucks, What happens if that's the case, where if he brought it from the U.S., if he thought his gun license in the U.S. carried over into England, and now it does not? Is he forgiven for his ignorance, and does he get off with maybe a fine? Does him being a higher profile case help him? I'm sure it helped Robert Guerrero, because, dude, I mean, regardless, gun laws in New York State are maybe the strictest in the United States. And Robert Guerrero ended up when he went back to court after the Mayweather fight, he got let off with a fine, and because he was licensed in California, but he was not licensed in New York. So, you could go to jail for that, technically in New York, but, he was able to just get off with a fine. So does your profile help you in times? Does Bomac's profile help him a little bit in this situation? Again, because of the ignorance, because there was no malicious intent. I think it's going to be pretty easy to prove there was no malicious intent here. What's not going to be easy to prove is, how innocent you are, regardless of ignorance, right? Because I think with no malicious intent, this is just ignorance on the part of Bomac, if this is the case, right? So I'm wondering. I don't know if there's any of the fans over you guys in the comment section from the UK. You guys know the gun laws a little bit better in the UK, and what your thoughts are, and what ends up coming out of this in terms of, if you guys that know the gun laws a little bit better out there. Does my question make any sense as far as, would ignorance, because he's licensed in the United States, would that play a part in the judge's decision to maybe be a little easier on him? Because I heard UK gun laws are very strict. Like, if this goes as strict as it could be, he could end up staying in jail and serve years in jail. Again, he's remanded. He can't even pay a bail right now since he's a foreign national. He can't leave the UK now because they won't trust that he won't come back to court on October 9th. So the guy literally can't even leave the country until October the 9th, which after at least until at least you're not even for sure, at least until at least October the 9th. He's got to stay in jail in the UK. So let me know what you guys think. Again, I'm looking for answers just like anybody else is looking for answers, even with my speculation. And if anybody has any other speculation, let me know, or things you guys might have heard, or again, you guys in the UK that know the laws a little bit better than me, let me know, man. I think that a lot of people are searching for answers and are very curious.